Hey, this is Derek D-Train D2. Tonight's episode is brought to you by...
Testicular cancer is the most common cancer in men ages 15 to 35. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to teach you how to check yourself with testicular cancer. First, you'll want to take a warm shower. Second, use both hands to gently roll your little fellas one at a time between your fingers, checking for lumps, change in size, or any pain. If you feel a soft tube on top or behind your testicles, don't panic. This is the epididymis, and it's totally normal. We recommend checking yourself once a month. And if you do feel any lumps or swelling, then talk to your doctor right away. Hello? So fellas, make sure you check yourself before you wreck yourself. Share this video to help spread awareness.
Hello, welcome back to the Blue Line Hockey Club, folks. We got another exciting episode of the Blue Line Hockey Club. We got the usual suspects sitting in the house with us tonight. We've got our producer, Patrick Uncle Lardy Sullivan. What's up, Patrick?
Aloha.
And the local nerd on staff, our IT guy, Robbie P. Peters. What's up, Pete?
Hey, how you mama now?
And the all-around sports guru, Derek D-Train He2. What's up, D-Train?
What's up, Swino?
And your host of the Blue Line Hockey Club tonight, Mark the Dr. Morley.
Oh, doctor.
Hey, fellas, we got a special guest sitting with us tonight. We've got a guy that's played some hockey in our hometown and St. Lawrence University. He's also played in the ECHL, the AHL, the NHL. He's been everywhere in the professional hockey sports leagues. And we have Rich Peverley tonight. What's up, Pevs?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, so let's just get into, obviously you played at St. Lawrence for Joey Mosh. I mean, that was a pretty cool experience up in Kent, New York. A lot of snow, freezing cold. A lot of fond memories up there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. There's just so many. I don't know where to start. Like, my first year was obviously a pretty big transition. It was, we won an ECAC championship. I was lucky enough to play with some phenomenal players like, Eric Anderson, Mike Gillard, Matt DeRogers. These guys went to have pretty good pro careers and kind of shaped the way I wanted to play the game at St. Lawrence. Obviously, Joe is an enticing figure in the Canton in the North Country. He's a fiery human being. He's wants to win. He's a guy that I got a tremendous amount of respect for because it was his caring away from the rink that I felt like he was the best with, and lucky enough to play for him. He was a great guy. But some of my best friends are from St. Lawrence. Played hockey with me there. Unfortunately, the last few years I was there, we weren't so great, but, I was lucky enough to play with some pretty good players like John Zeiler and TJ Trevelyan and, Colin Fitzrandolph. And, they were just great human beings, and we had a ton of fun. Canton can be, especially in the spring, can be a ton of fun. So it was great.
That's really short spring that you get when you're up there. So where are you now? Where's home for you now?
I'm back home in Guelph, Ontario. I usually travel quite a bit with my job with the Dallas Stars, but ever since this pandemic came about, I'm locked down here. But it's been great to spend time with family, and lucky now that sports are back. It was a tough time not having any sports for that little bit.
Yeah, huge win for Dallas the other night too. Doing well.
Yeah, it was just huge. Anytime you can get that win, it was big.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm rooting for the Stars for sure, just with Tyler Seguin. I think he played where did he play? He played in the OHL, didn't he? I watched him play in Kingston. But anyway.
Yeah, I played in Plymouth.
Plymouth, yeah, the Whalers. That's right. Yeah. But Rich, going, not being drafted in the NHL and making your way up through the East Coast, then the AHL. I actually watched you play in Portland. I lived in Portland, Maine for a little bit, watched you play with the Pirates. But talk to us about that. And, you made it to the pinnacle, right? You got to hoist the Stanley Cup. But what was that like, working your way all the way up to the NHL? And, most players kind of fade out and just say, this isn't for me, but you stuck with it. And, like I said, you hoisted the Stanley Cup.
It was, I don't want to bore you guys with the long detail of my career, but it was, I had an interesting few years. Like, I went to Toronto Maple Leafs rookie camp out of college, and it was a lockout year. So that year I went to Toronto's rookie camp in Montreal. We won the tournament. I had led the tournament in scoring, but, to get a contract was pretty tough at that time because, during that lockout year, 04-05, every NHL team was allowed to send down, anyone that they wanted to, basically, to go play in the minors. So, some teams had 10, 11 players. The St. John's Maple Leafs, who I was trying out for, had about 8 or 9. So the kind of fall down effect that went to the East Coast League that year, I decided to go play at South Carolina, and we had some pretty good players. Ended up, playing in the AHL the next year. But, for myself that year, we had Alex Burrows was playing in Columbia, and myself, I was playing in South Carolina. Matt Hendricks was playing in Florida. So, there were some pretty good players that ended up playing in the East Coast League that year. And the next year I had to start in the East Coast League again, and I'm lucky that, I started well. Ray Shiro, former St. Lawrence Saint, gave me a shot with Nashville and with Milwaukee's Nashville's farm system in Milwaukee, and I took advantage of an opportunity. We had some great players on that team, and when I finally got to that team, I said to myself, I'm not that far. So, I played with players that were really close, and sorry about that. Played with some players that were really close, and it was a time where I got a chance, and I was lucky enough to get an opportunity.
Nice. So, Rich, when you finally got to win that cup with Boston, tell us how that was, and what'd you do with the Stanley Cup? Everyone gets it for a day, so did you take it back home, and what did you do?
Yeah, I took it back home. I was offered to bring it to Canton, but that as much as that was an important time in my life, there was my parents and my wife's parents, and some pretty important people that helped me when I was younger and in the summers, and I wanted to get back to Guelph and share it with the people that kind of helped me.
Yeah, you could have had eaten a pizza roll out of it with some ranch.
Actually, that's funny. You know what? Actually, the next year, I was playing in Boston. St. Lawrence honored me with kind of a night on a Friday night, and I was lucky enough that we were playing in Toronto the next night. And I flew up to Ottawa and drove into St. Lawrence and did like a special thing there, like a rally before the game, and watched a little bit of the game, and I drove to Toronto, but I'm lucky the Bruins let me go just to have that experience.
Yeah. The old pizza roll.
Pizza rolls are worldwide.
Yeah, Frankie's been was always there at the right time.
4 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't taste as good during the day. You had to be pretty drunk, man. Shit.
After Dollar Blues, everyone's at Sergey everyone's Frank's best friend at after Tuesday Blues for sure.
Isn't that the truth? But you know what, Frankie was. But I've been going back to St. Lawrence a little bit, and I always stop in to say hi to Frankie, and he's a great man, and great person, and we're lucky that I was lucky to get to know him, to be honest, because we've kept in touch. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Got the same Frank we know?
That is.
There's usually like a trail of ranch containers, pizza rolls, all the way from like Sergey's to St. Lawrence. There's like a trail. We can find you guys. We can figure out where everybody lives just by following the trail.
pizza roll bags.
Well, you know what? Maybe the locals maybe had a little bit more fun than I did.
Yeah, my wife actually went to school with you. Her name's Megan Martin. She said to say hello.
Okay, yeah, I remember her. Yep, very much.
Well, let's get into a little bit of obviously you're with Dallas now, and you had a stint there with Dallas. I think you probably played the most games in a season with Dallas until you had your heart incident on the bench. Talk about that a little bit. What was that like? Obviously, we saw it on TV and that kind of shit, but what was that experience? Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was a trying year, I'd say. I got traded from Boston, and I really enjoyed my time in Boston. Obviously, winning and then going to a cup again in 13. It was a big transition, but I was lucky that they were nice enough to be supportive when I was kind of going through some times, and they've been supportive ever since. And it's a great bunch of human beings that work with the Dallas Stars, and I'm lucky that I've been able to be a part of the organization after my playing days.
So you had Rich, when you what was it, Jay Boatmeister? He collapsed on the bench just recently. What was kind of running through your head when you saw that? And I know he's back in it. What was your decision just to finally hang the skates up and start working in the NHL? In the front office.
Well, for Jay, I don't like to comment too much on what he's been through, and everyone's situation is a little bit different. Although they might seem similar to the outside world, it's when I saw it, obviously you just hope for the best for the person and for the family. And then, I've reached out, but I'm sure he's going through his own emotions and struggles to figure out what he wants to do next. And that's kind of what I had to do. I had to go through that process, and he's going through it right now. So, for myself, it was about, your family, and you look at your age and your career and what you've achieved. And, if I was younger and single, maybe it would have been a bit of a different story. But, I was happy with the career that I had. And at the same time, I wanted to be able to transition into a role at the management level. And I was given that opportunity, and I really didn't want to turn it down because it's something that I've always wanted, even when I was playing. So, I think that's the main reason why, one of the main reasons why I decided to kind of stop playing. And, there's always risk involved, and you just got to manage that risk and do what's best for you and your family.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Rich, you've been doing good things with Pevs Protects. I've been in that situation. I went to UMass, played lacrosse there, and my freshman year, one of my teammates got hit with a shot in practice, and it was pretty far from the athletic facilities. By the time they got the defibrillator from the facility all the way out to the field, it was too late. So I know that you've been instrumental in Guelph about getting defibrillators for teams to have, like, on site and stuff like that, and that's a huge thing. Obviously, I saw it firsthand. Could have saved my friend's life. How is Pevs Protects going? It seems like you guys are doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's been going well, and I think the first few years it was, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. There's other organizations throughout Ontario, throughout Canada, and the United States that, you try to raise money for. But now, I think that there's so much, we want to get so much education. I think, getting defibrillators is really important, and it's really kind of really changed in my neck of the woods, where there is a lot more defibrillators in buildings and workplaces. But now it's just about getting the education out there to people about how to use them, how to do CPR. And that's kind of been the main goal. And I think, even moving forward, I think there's, we've advocated it here in Ontario is getting AED training into the curriculum in high school. I think it's a great tool to have for people kind of growing and getting into their adult years, and it's a life skill. You can save someone's life, so I think that's something that we're going to continue to advocate.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer to have those around all sports facilities, and what you're doing, Rich, is a great idea, and I can't believe a lot more people aren't doing that. But Rich, one more question before we let you go, and I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I wanted you to elaborate a little bit more on just what did you do the day with the Stanley Cup? Obviously us four guys played hockey. It's every kid's dream to win the Stanley Cup. But I'm a little more interested. Like, what else did you do with the cup? Tell us some of the details on the day.
It was I didn't do anything extravagant. It was more about enjoying it with family and friends. I think my family and my wife's family came to the house early in the morning. Had a little bit of time alone with it, and then we went to the arena here in Guelph where the OHL team plays and opened it up to the city of anyone who wanted to come take pictures and do meet and greet. And then after that, we had a party at a local golf course and just kind of enjoyed it with as many friends and family and teammates and ex-teammates that I could bring. And I'm lucky enough that so many people came and we got to really enjoy the night. It was they cut you off at about 12 because the cup keeper's gotta get in the car and drive to wherever he's going next. So he was 11:59. He was reaching for it. So they were great. They were great. It was I'm sure by 11:59, whoever has it doesn't want to get rid of it. It can be a little aggressive, but no, it was great. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and maybe one day again I'll be able to host it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Pevs, have you been able to get up and see the renovation of Appleton at all, or?
Yeah, actually, I was before all this pandemic came about. My family and we came down. I really made an effort to get there for the opening weekend against Clarkson. We got there on the Friday. We watched the women's game on the Friday night, and watched the women's game again on the Saturday, and the men's game, and got the tour of the facilities. I have to say, I think Wellesley won the jackpot on that one because the women's side definitely got a lot more space than the men's. So maybe that's the local part in Wellesley. He did a great job advocating that. But
there you go.
No, it was great. It was so many guys. Like I think the year that we won in 2001, and then the year of 2000 that they won the year before I got there. There was probably about 20 guys there from those teams. So
nice.
Everybody really made an effort, and Tony Macy was obviously there because he's assistant coach now with Clarkson, and I got to see Matt DeRogers a little bit now because I've been over to Clarkson a few times. So it's always great seeing guys, and right when I got back, I had so much fun. We were at the Hoot Owl both nights, and I remember I was texting Fitzy right away, and I said, Fitzy, I know you're in South Africa, but you got to make way for one of these next time. So yeah, he would love it. Fitzy and I, we were roommates. He's a great man, and obviously his family is phenomenal. So great can nights right there. So great people.
Yes, sir. Brad, do you know the note? Oh, go ahead, Rob. No, go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, we almost crossed paths in Egypt.
Fitzy.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, with Fitzy.
Yeah.
He's all over the fucking place, huh?
Yeah. He's an international man of mystery.
Chugging beers.
Yeah.
Rich, do you know Brett Brecky at all, and what do you think about the future there for St. Lawrence?
Obviously, he's got I don't know him personally, but he's got a phenomenal career at the college ranks. He's obviously coached at some big schools at Miami and Cornell. So, it's going to take him, I think, a few years to climb out of where they're at. But that's, if you look at some of the other ECAC schools that have put renovations in or built new arenas, I think that, that's a big sticking point for recruiting. So, if I think the St. Lawrence family is a really important piece of recruiting, and hopefully we can get some good kids in there and, be, nationally recognized again because, it's such a special place. It's such a special place to play. So, hopefully they can turn it around there. And if they ever need my help, I'd be happy to help. That's for sure.
Come on back. Come on back.
Love that barn, yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Rich, taking some time out of your day. I know you're busy with work and your family, and sharing some of your stories with us. It's been great, and we'll be rooting for Dallas here in the next couple of weeks.
I like where your head's at. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Rich. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, take care.
Take care. You too.
Thanks.
All right, boys. Rich Peverley joining the Blue Liners tonight. Good to have Rich on. Obviously, he knows some of our played in our hometown at St. Lawrence, roomed with one of our buddies from high school, Colin Fitzrandolph. Cool to hear his story. Obviously, he traveled through the ranks, like Pat said, ECHL. I mean, when we talk about the ECHL, man, it's a big difference than playing in the show. So, I mean, that was some drive, determination to get out of the ECHL to AHL and working his way up to finally playing in the show. And actually, doing pretty well until he, had his heart episode on the bench. He's had 62 games in with Dallas that year. So unfortunate situations, health situations ended his career, but now he's been able to keep it going. And I think that's, like we talk about, the ultimate goal, to these guys as players. You can't play forever. So if you can work in the front office in the NHL, I mean, it's got to be a lot more fun than what I do every day.
Yeah, I mean, he's the epitome of a hockey player working his way up the ranks in the hockey career. Like I said, he went to St. Lawrence, not a big powerhouse school in collegiate hockey, but still up there. It's Division I. Didn't get drafted in the NHL. Like he said, touched on it a little bit. Got East Coast tryout with Toronto. Made his way up. Then he went to the Portland Pirates. Then he went back to the East Coast and back to the AHL, and eventually up with Boston Bruins. But he made his way and hoisted the cup up. Not too many players can say that they
childhood dream.
East Coast. East Coast is tough, man. It is fighting. It's tough. Like if you play your first couple stints in the East Coast Hockey League, you're like, all right, is this for me or should I get a job?
Yeah, you talk about all the guys that are still waiting to do that. Some of these veterans like Joe Thornton, right? Like how many seasons has he played? He's 40 years old, still hasn't hoisted the cup. I mean, there's numerous guys we could talk about in that same situation where he was fortunate enough to be on a team and win a cup.
Yeah, I mean, his last year, Mark, you said he got 62 games with Dallas before that incident on the bench, and he ended up with 30 points, so 7 goals, 23 assists. So let's say Rich decided that he wanted to play the next year. I mean, or he could be playing today and putting pucks in the net. So who knows? But now he's in the front office, player development with the Dallas Stars.
I was just thinking, watching and going through his videos, he fell in the lap of Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn is playing in the, playing against the Flames, who, I'm pulling for. They're in a battle right now. But Dallas is up 3-2 on the Flames. But,
captain of the Stars fighter, yeah.
Seeing Jamie Benn playing reminds me that, Rich Peverley could very well still be playing with him.
Well, sure, boys. Well, we got a lot of playoff hockey to talk about. We'll start with the East Coast. A lot going on over there. Obviously, I was watching the Capitals game last night. They were just on fire, man. They were down 2-0 in the first period, and I was like, this is, get the broom out. Let's sweep these fuckers out of here. And then in the second period, man, they just came on. The fucking Ovi effect came on. I was telling you guys about how he took the one-timer, hit the goalie square in the fucking mask. Not even a minute later, gets another opportunity, same spot, one-timer, snipes. And, that goalie's eyes were closed for sure. It knocked all the buckles right off his helmet. They had to stop the game, buckle his helmet back up. and then he ended up scoring again for the game winner.
Knocked the buckles right off his fucking helmet.
Oh, blasted him. OV one-timer square in the fucking mug. But the Capitals in general were all over him. It looked like, how did the Islanders even win a game against this team? So it'll be interesting to see what Trotz does coming back into the next game, 3-1 Islanders. If the Capitals can keep that fire like they had last night, they have a chance to come back.
Yeah, I think the Capitals, man, like the fact that they were able to hang in there, I thought it was going to be swept too, to be honest with you. But, the fact that the Capitals hung on, you got as much talent on that team as they have. It's like kind of like that one team. It's kind of like that one team where it's like you couldn't get rid of them. Now they got that taste in their mouth again. They got a little bit of momentum going. This is a team that you could see come back, you know what I mean, and even up the series and even take it. But I'm still going to stick with the Islanders in that series. I think they're just, like I said before in the last podcast, they're kind of like a lunch pail team that brings it every day. They got the Capitals got the best of them in the last game, but I don't think they can come back from that deficit. But you're right, Mark. They were all over them in that game.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I need a cold one. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Kovalchuk, Kuznetsov. Oh my God, I'm blanking on friggin' Ovechkin, Wilson. They've got the numbers and they're down 3-1. For them to come back on, I thought it was, it was pretty impressive actually. I heard the after interview, and Kuznetsov said that we stopped playing the systems. We started being creative and doing our own things. I mean, I'm paraphrasing obviously. But I thought it was interesting that they, he said that I stopped playing how coach was telling us, and I started playing myself. Did you see his goal, Kuznetsov goal?
Yeah.
The goal he scored, the way he tucked it into the back of the far side like that, it was like nobody. He was playing against the kid.
I was just going to say, I think after, a few podcasts ago, after the Islanders beat the Capitals in Game 2, I kind of said that's a wake-up call for the Capitals, and they're going to come around and eventually win this series. But I'll tell you what, the Islanders, they're a sleeper. I can't believe, like what you guys said, Derek and Mark, that they were all over them, in Game 4, which they were. And they could turn it on. They might win another game, but there's no way they're going to win 3 games in a row. The Islanders are walking away with that series.
I don't think they can tip the Islanders back over. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, unless we have another Columbus Blue Jackets Tampa Bay Lightning series where.
Yeah, that's true, Mark. It happens, right?
Well, I mean, I guess it's a little bit different, but I mean, what happened to the Blue Jackets, man? Losing in overtime today, 5-4. They're done.
What's Byington? I mean, someone looked that up. Has he won a game yet in these playoffs? I mean, he went from a Vezina Trophy winner to not winning a playoff game this year.
They're 2-4-1 right now.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's been a lot of people talking that, Jordan was a little overrated. He won the cup, got a hot hand. He got the, pocket aces.
Well, I mean, listen, we talk about this all the time, right? It's a little bit of luck, always. It's a little bit of luck. Timing, right? These guys all they're full of skills somehow, some way, right? Byington fell into the starting role, and he got on a roll and finished the season on fire. They won the Stanley Cup.
That's how it works.
The luck of the cards. But to win it over again, that's a different hand, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a different hand. And then you have the pause, you have the reset, the qualifying rounds where everybody's fighting to get in. And now we're in this, this fight where Vegas jumps out to the, Vegas was the first one out of this conference or divisional round, right?
Yeah.
Now we have Tampa Bay moving on, which is a surprise. Which, I mean, I guess it's a surprise to us because we were kind of pulling for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but obviously they were supposed to win it last year, so how much of a surprise is it? but they won in overtime today, 5-4.
Yeah.
A lot of overtimes, fellas. It just seems like the
that series
playoffs are
was like
overtime.
all overtimes. Yep.
Yeah.
Some endurance there. The Hurricanes-Bruins series, obviously, that's been one we've been watching pretty close. 2-1 right now
It's 2-1 Boston.
in the third.
Awesome.
Pasternak's back in playing. He was kind of questionable leading into this game, but he's back.
What was that? What was he out for? I didn't really haven't been paying attention that much.
Unfit to play was what the injury was, so I don't know if it was a concussion or what. I mean, what else would it be unfit to play?
I was going to text Sweeney and ask him what it was. I didn't get a chance. I'll text him later.
Sweeto. Shout out to Sweeto.
Yeah, and the Avalanche, obviously, they're up on the Yotes right now, 2-0 to look to close that series. So, I mean, I think the Avs are obviously going to win that series, even if they
7-1 stomping the other night. Did you see that? Kadri with 2 goals. I know Arizona's got, I mean, on paper, they're pretty good. Rick Tocchet and the boys, if they lose this series, the whole, I know they got their GM left, went somewhere else. And, it's kind of disbobbled, but what I'm trying to say is they need to get organized. If they lose this series, they definitely need to go back to the drawing board because the picks that they got down there, they got fucking.
I can answer the other side of that. I'll shut up right now, but let me answer the other side.
No, I'm just saying that, yes, Colorado is one of the best teams, and most of us favored them, and they had a uphill battle playing in this series, but they should be doing a little bit better than 7-1. That's all I'm saying on paper. That's all I was going to say. Go ahead.
The first thing I'll say is yes, Colorado is better than Arizona.
Yes, I agree.
They drew a very, very, very tough team. A lot of us, saw Colorado going to the finals at least, if not winning.
Top, yeah.
Arizona, what I'll say about Arizona is, I've seen positive signs there. Taylor Hall was a big question to me, and he's put some points on the board. He's fighting. He's showing signs of life. Those are all positives. The fact that Arizona, they fought and scratched their way in through the qualifying round, and they lost to a really, really good Colorado team. I don't think it's anything to light your hair on fire for. You go back and you take a look and say, okay, well, damn, we lost to Colorado, who may even win the Stanley Cup. Okay, how do we not do that next year?
Speaking of fighting, you said, did you guys see McKinnon fought Kristen Fisher and threw him around like a rag doll? Did you see that? I thought more at Kristen Fisher. I thought
Fisher cross-checked him in the face too. McKinnon seems to be a very reserved guy, so when that bomb goes off, explosions are happening.
Yeah, but you just give up? Like Fisher, just gave up and let him throw him around. Like there's no way ever, even when I'm 64 years old and a young kid grabs onto me, I'm not just gonna let him toss me around. Like,
I know, but you say that, right? But what happened is he grabbed him when Fisher, wasn't exactly ready to be grabbed.
Oh, here we go.
Got him and
well, try at least. He didn't even try. He didn't dig his skates in, or didn't,
Yeah, it's a different story. He ragdolled him. There's no question. He was, flopping him around like a little.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Yotes definitely had a tough hand there with the Avalanche, and the Flyers, in my opinion, got dealt an easy hand with the Canadians. Not that the Canadians aren't a good team, but probably one of the lesser quality teams in the playoffs right now.
Listen, man, though, how bad do you got to feel for Carey Price? I mean, the guy is probably one of the best goaltenders in the league, right? He gets besides game 2, right, where the Canadians won and they got 5 fucking goals, right? They don't fucking score goals. They don't score at all. I mean, you look at the rest of them. I mean,
Hart's got 2 shutouts, I think.
The Flyers are just pitching shutouts.
1 goal in 4 games.
There you go. Besides that one game where they spouted out with 5, you know what I mean? So Carey Price is probably
6 6 goals. Yeah,
unreal. 5 of them came in one game. 5 of them came in one game. I mean, so like Carey Price is probably like covered in ice packets. You know what I mean? Like walking into the hotel in the bubble that they're in. It's just I feel bad for him, because it's like he's like one of those amazing talents that's just stuck on a team right now that just not supporting him from a goal standpoint, and he's just having to stop rubber all night long. And the Canadians, you got Max Domi too. I feel like the Max Domi's been kind of handcuffed a bit because his style of play is like, kind of get nasty, kind of, you got to accept some penalty minutes for him, once in a while. And I think the coaching staff has kind of tried to like curtail that, where, and because of that, he's not contributing like scoring goals and stuff like that. So I think they got to take the handcuffs off him and accept that there's going to be some penalty minutes once in a while. But I feel like I just feel terrible for Carey Price, because, I mean, you guys playing lights out and he's just not getting any goal support.
Yeah, I'm with you, Hitu, on Ty Domi. I think you're 100% right that the coaching staff is kind of putting handcuffs on him. But I mean, Max, yeah. But who's his father? Ty, right? Look at his mentality, right? I mean, so you can't just put cap that kind of style of play on a player. I mean, he's a Matthew Tkachuk. He's a Brady Tkachuk kind of player. And yes, and if I was the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, I'd be like, come on, Max, let's kind of calm this down a little bit. We need you to put the pucks in the net. And he's got to say, okay, I will. But on the ice, a whole different ball game. It's tough.
Right, there's a balance, right? He's trying to create space by using his body so that, the people around him can score some goals. It's a tough balance, because you are going to eat some penalties. Yeah. When you do that, you're going to make some mistakes, and it is what it is. So you have to deal with it.
Philly, no doubt, is going to walk away with that series.
They're a young team. Montreal's a young team. They never stood a chance, really. And Philadelphia, I wrote down 4 teams, when I was getting ready for tonight, and Philadelphia was the second one. Vegas jumped out. They were the first ones to clear the Chicago off the board. The Flyers have won the second most, 6 most games. So 6-1-0.
Wow. Yeah, they ended the season before the Pavs on fire, right? They had the most wins by any NHL team. So,
Well, the Islanders,
it looks like they picked it up.
Yeah, the Islanders are 6-2-0. So, they're on fire as well. They're the third team, and the fourth team is Colorado. They're 5-1-1. Again, those are the teams that have jumped out right away, and those are the teams that we've all said at some point, keep your eye on them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice win for the Lightning. We'll get to see Bogosian go further into the playoffs. Nice to see a local guy like that getting some success after
they threw a nice plug for Messina, New York. Did you guys hear that? Zach Bogosian from Messina, New York. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Pierre McGuire knows him pretty well. So yeah,
Bogo deserves it, man. He deserves it. After all the penalties, after all the injuries he's endured, he deserves this, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't even get me started, Derek. Because he should be doing what we're watching for Buffalo. He should be putting that effort on the Sabres organization.
They sent him to the A.
Lightning.
They sent him down to the Red Roof Inn, riding the bus in the game.
Definitely been done wrong.
He was done wrong, and like I said, I'm very glad that he's doing well. I'm very happy that he's doing well. I'm rooting for Zach Bogosian in the playoffs now. Tampa has moved up to a priority for me because of Zach, but I'm just saying, fuck whatever was going on in Buffalo.
There we go.
Mark, I just wanted to plug a little bit about Dale Howardchuk. Passed away today fighting a battle with cancer. Dale was one of the top NHL players. Hall
of
Famer when we were kids. 16 seasons. Member of the Winnipeg Jets, Sabres, Blues, Flyers. Actually won the Calder Trophy as the league's Rookie of the Year in 1982. I think Derek was 15 then. He was selected first overall in 1981. year Derek graduated high school, and in that draft class, you know, you had Ron Francis, Grant Fuhr, Chris Chelios, so big NHL group of guys that year. He got into the Hall of Fame, and yeah, it sucks that he passed away today due to
stomach cancer. Terrible.
Cancer sucks. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, but I think he was a 1,000 game guy. I think he was a 1,000-point guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Hall of Famer. Yep.
Yeah, significant player in the NHL during his career.
All-time original Jets scorer.
Yeah.
I remember him in Buffalo. He played with like the McGillney and a bunch of the other Chucks.
We got
Andrew Chuck, Millard Chuck.
You'll like this, Pete. During the 1990 NHL entry draft, Howard Chuck was involved in a blockbuster trade along with Winnipeg's first round choice, 14th overall, Brad May. We all know Brad May. He was dealt to the Buffalo Sabres in exchange for it. Now listen to who Buffalo: Phil Housley, Scott Arnale, Jeff Parker, and a first-round pick, which was Keith Tkachuk. So,
Chucky.
Buffalo, they make those good decisions down there.
What's in the water?
Dale's a Hall of Famer, don't get me wrong, but the amount of players and a first-round draft pick, which is another Hall of Famer, Keith Tkachuk. I saw that earlier today, and I was like, I got to read that out loud. That's just another.
You want to go somewhere not to win a Stanley Cup, you head right to Buffalo.
They'll do it.
Our players go to die. Hey, I think Dale was a coach in Barrie or something, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah. Recently, it was just right up there, close to us, where we're all born and raised.
Up in, was it Barrie, Ontario? He was coaching.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure there, Mike.
I saw that come across the ticker last night when I was watching it.
Yeah, Barrie Colts. He's been there since 2010. And there until, recently that he passed away. But, yeah, he served as the head coach for the Colts.
Yeah, so it definitely sucks for the Colts, too. I'm sure those guys were pretty close to him as a head coach. It's a loss for them up in Barrie.
I bet.
Well, we got the Canucks and the Blues tonight at 10:30. 2-2 series there, so see what happens with goaltending. Obviously, we watched the Canucks quite a bit when they were playing Minnesota at like fucking 4 a.m. But, the Canucks are still hanging strong. They got a pretty good team. I think I like them in that series. I think the Blues might be done.
Yeah.
I think their goalie situation is too shaky.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not staying up anymore to watch those late night games a while out, but I don't know what to say there, and I don't even want to predict, but I'm with you. The goalie situation in St. Louis it just dropped off a cliff. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I feel bad because, again, it comes back to this question of, is it a goal? Is this Jordan Binnington's fault?
Yes.
Or is it the St. Louis Blues? I mean, where's Ryan O'Reilly in this conversation? Where's Tarasenko in this conversation?
Yeah,
Pietrangelo, where are these guys in this conversation, right? They lost the game too. It's not just Jordan Binnington who's in that. And if he's my starting goalie, the next time I go to drop the fucking puck, the kid is between the pipes for me. Sorry, those are the guys that I came with this year. And Jordan Binnington is it. And if they're losing the game, they're losing the game together.
There we go. And so Carolina is looking at elimination here in 7 minutes.
Are you guys, is this an odd theory on how to play the game of hockey or what?
No, we're just lighting our hair on fire.
We're just walking your nuts. Last thing before we leave, guys, we'll cut it off here. This might get a little lengthy, especially with Robbie drinking beers. What do you guys think about Tuukka Rask leaving the Bruins? I'll go first since I brought it up. I think it's just outrageous. I think there's a lot of we're old school guys here on the podcast, so I think we would live and breathe, take, cross checks to the net to win for the team. I just don't think, I don't know his situation. And I mean, all I got to say is I know he has enough money. If it's kids that, he's got young kids, he has enough money to fly his mother, his aunt, his mother-in-law, his sister-in-law, hire 3 nannies to help his wife out. He went into the bubble knowing that he's going to have to be there X amount and potentially, this long to win the cup. He went in there, and then now you're saying, well, my wife's having a hard time. And it's like, well, fucking hire a nanny then. I don't know what to tell you. Let's win this cup. Well, and what does that say to other players, not just for the Boston Bruins, for other teams that are playing in this weird Stanley Cup playoff series? That little bit kind of, I think, news that went viral around the NHL and all the players that are still in the bubble, it kind of made them say, yeah, what the fuck am I doing here? It kind of spoiled it. That's what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead, you do.
No, I was going to say, I mean, I'll take the other side of that. I completely see where you're coming from, Pat. And I mean, probably all of us would still be playing hockey right now, you know what I mean, and not even taking a second guess about it. But from the other standpoint, I guess if he does have little kids, I mean, you don't get that time back, and it is a long time. These guys have been away from their family for a long time, 30, 40 days, something like that. If you got a little one at home, it's been 40 days, you come back and they're like a different human being, you know what I mean? So not being able to see at all your family, I guess I can see that standpoint where like you start contemplating, like, is this worth it? I've made a lot of money in my career. I've had a lot of success in my career. Like, I'd rather just be sitting at home with my family and watching my kids grow up. So, I get it. Without knowing the specifics of why the hell he's gone, I guess we can't divulge into it too much, but I definitely hear you, Pat, from the other standpoint. Kids grow so quickly and things change so fast. You can kind of understand why somebody doesn't want to miss that stuff, but yeah,
I'll touch on it quickly. Unless it was something that where somebody's going to die within the next month or something, then I don't agree with it. So, the guy
would die. What would you give to leave for 4 months?
What the fuck, man? I got to deal with 4 screaming kids around here. I need some fucking bubbles.
Or pay someone to leave for 4 months.
So like, how many days off did they have? Like 4 fucking months? That wasn't enough time to figure shit out. So
good point.
We gave you 4 months off, and then you come into a bubble for 3 weeks and you need to leave, which is fucking, bullshit, new age kid type stuff that's happening in minor hockey. And, there are how many people out there that wouldn't trade shoes with him to be in his situation, playing for a Stanley Cup on a team that possibly has a really good chance of winning the cup, not just playing for a team. Yeah, I mean, there's 6 minutes left, and they're going to win this series if the Canes don't score. So how many guys out there that have given their left nut to play hockey their whole life, never made it to where he's at? And people get complacent in where they are, and they don't understand how lucky they are to be in his situation, how lucky he is to play in the playoffs and be a starting goal in the NHL.
Exactly.
There's only 32, teams in this league, and there's 64 goalies in the world that are playing, right? So I don't know. I think he's being kind of a dick. His teammates, he's fucking them. He's fucking the organization. Everybody in the Bruins organization has had it with him. So I think he probably goes to, another team next year.
Really good points, Mark. Really good points, actually. That's really well said. Like I was thinking kind of in the moment. I didn't think about all that time off they had beforehand. How privileged and blessed he is to be where he's sitting. You know what I mean? And that's a really good point, man. Really well said.
Well, and then we have social media now. You can FaceTime. I know it's not the same thing, the touching and kissing, and then we all have small kids. We know how that is, even as big, grizzly, stinky men. But still, you were inside this bubble with your team. Your
family.
I just keep resorting back to let's say us 4 guys are back in a hunting camp and we're lost, but a helicopter comes by and with a rope, and I grab onto it and tell them to leave, and I leave you guys stranded. Like, there's no way I would leave people stranded, especially, I don't know, it's just weird to me. And I know we had Andy Moog on a few episodes ago, one of the top goalies in Boston for years, late 80s, early 90s. And he put a mask up of the 3 top goalies on Twitter, goalie mask in the Boston Bruins history. And he said, I know if it was us back then, we'd be there for you, Boston Bruins. So I'm old school like him, and I think it's ridiculous. I'm with you, Mark.
Yeah, I think that, Pete.
Mark, I don't have anything to add. I think you hit the nail on the head for me as well. I think that you signed up to go into a bubble, and without truly knowing why he left the bubble, I'm going to leave it at, I think it's bullshit that, you're leaving your team. And after that, it's up to the team to figure out, how they want to deal with that. The guys that are staying are moving forward. Like Pat said, they have a great chance of winning the Stanley Cup. So it does not make any sense to me. Even with his example, or I think for what I heard him say, it doesn't feel like a Stanley Cup because there's no fans in the stands. Boo fucking who? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I'll play.
In many ways, he's playing for the rest of us because we're stuck at home.
Yeah.
For that alone,
Yeah, but he's probably only they get paid every 2 weeks in the NHL. He's probably only getting like 700,000-800,000 every 2 weeks.
Well, setting all of that stuff
rough.
aside, you're a professional athlete. You've committed to a team that is competing for the best, best cup on the best championship, the hardest cup to win. So I don't have very much
hurt. I'm going home.
I don't have much forgiveness there. I'm sorry.
Unless it's, somebody's on their deathbed, if he doesn't go home, they're going to die. Yeah. I understand that 100%.
Within reason, of course.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'll eat all my words. But the other part of it is everybody's replaceable, and Halak has replaced them, right? So if you think you're better than somebody and then you're going to be just
playing well too.
You're going to we're going to take you right back next season. You're fucking crazy. Everybody's replaceable. And once you forget that, that's when you start to lose your edge.
Well, and I think that's how Tim Thomas left.
On that note, Mark, like Deion Sanders put out a tweet where he talked about in the NFL players that are opting out right now. They're opting out to play the season because some of them for very legitimate reasons. But Deion said something very poignant to exactly what you just said. He said, you guys that are all opting out, do not forget this is a business. Every single one of you, first of all, the league is bigger than any one of you could ever dream to be. And it's a business. And the moment you leave, someone's going to take your place and never look back. I'm paraphrasing, but I mean, it's what have you done for me lately in all these leagues, right? So, and there's always somebody waiting right behind you in the wings that can take your spot.
Younger.
This is nothing's guaranteed, nothing's given. You got to show up and work every single day. And these guys that are leaving and opting out, they might never see the field again. They really might. They really might never see the field or the ice ever again, So
it's just like when somebody gets hurt, and you gotta get hurt and you come back and you lose your spot. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, different situation. Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady, those guys didn't think they were, replaceable, but Aaron Rodgers turned out to be awesome. Tom Brady turned out to be way better than Drew Bledsoe. So when these guys think they're bigger than the game is when they lose their edge, for sure.
And with touching on this real quick, guys, the NHL I think has really nailed it with this whole bubble system that they have, because I saw even today that the NFL is considering like a bubble for when they get to the playoffs, taking all the teams that make it to the playoffs, putting them in the same kind of bubble. So, hats off to the NHL for, pioneering a, decision and a setup that's now going to be taken, and spun off for different leagues. So they've done a hell of a job, man, and they haven't had to shut down. They haven't had to quit playing games. They're just rolling along, and that's goes to speak about hockey people in general, and the game itself. It's the best thing in the world, man.
For sure. And I just want to say, did you guys hear about the Philadelphia 76ers and their basketball team?
No.
Some stripper came out and said that she had fun with 8 guys in one hotel room down in the bubble, and pictures and everything to prove it. So
nice.
Yikes. Shit. I knew we should take her phone.
On that note, see ya.
On that, boys, another good podcast with Rich Peverley. Getting right into these playoffs. We're going to have a couple teams eliminated, it looks like, today. The Hurricanes being one of them in 50 seconds. And the Avalanche over the Coyotes 3-0. So that's going to be another one that's gone. And then if the Flyers win tonight, we're only going to have one team, a couple teams left as far as this round goes. So another good podcast, boys. And let's just give a shout out to something that's really helped us here at the Blue Line Hockey Club. We're really getting sick of Rob's hairy nuts. And so Manscaped sent us some nice lawnmowers, and he's finally got trimmed up, and I think he might even get laid this year. So
I'm hoping for tonight, baby.
Debatable.
Big shout out. And
I'll text you later.
Great great product. I held out on my scaping until I got mine, and there was shit flying everywhere. So if you haven't picked one up yet, get on manscaped.com and grab one of these lawnmowers.
I had a spike horn in my bush, but I just want to say we got some good podcasts coming up. We got Ron Waske, who was the trainer of the New York Islanders. We're hoping that we can do a surprise guest with Clark Gillies coming on. But Ron was the trainer for the New York Islanders when they won all the cups. So we got him coming on. We got some Rob Blake from the GM of the LA Kings, and a few other players. We got Dave Taylor possibly he keeps texting me wanting to come on. He's in the St. Louis Blues organization. So we got a lot of good podcasts coming up. Even David Quinn's trying to get on. So follow us, boys.
Check us out.
I'm going to say quickly, we want to give a quick shout out as well to some our podcasts. Branded Bills, we want to thank Branded Bills for the custom hats they gave us. We haven't done that in a little while, but thank you. The hats are dynamite. Second String Leather Company, that gear is phenomenal. If you like hockey stuff, it's authentic leather. You can't beat it.
Let's get some more at the top.
Ultimate Hockey Fan Caves, our new friends out in Vancouver. What's up, fellas? Just a quick shout out there. I've got your gear.
That's some Lake Caves. What the fuck?
I'm sending some stuff via Santa to Vancouver from the East Coast, USA.
Nice.
What more do you think I got to do, guys, to get Busch Light to sponsor us? I mean, how much more can I drink? Come on.
There's 2 more I just want to say real quick. You got to give aloha to Belfour Spirits.
Yeah. Why don't they sponsor us? What the fuck?
Last but definitely not least, the Clark Gillies Foundation. What's up, Clark Gillies Foundation? We just wanted to give a shout out to
Hardy bunch of guys out there.
All right, you motherfuckers. Until next time, keep your stick on the ice.
See ya. Widow.
Oh, doctor.
Keep your head up.